What's going on, everybody? This is Gary Kester here with the Lakers Outsiders, doing a little test run with this new stream. I'm with Hani Ahmadian, as always. We're going to go back to our roots, the Pau Gasol to my Kobe Bryant, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. And yeah, we're looking at doing streaming a little different. We're going to be doing this through Twitch and YouTube. Want to do it through Facebook as well, but it's a little funky. Still haven't kind of worked that out. But looks like we got a handful of viewers. But this is kind of a way that I think we can, kind of stream, and you can follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, and who's the cute one? I mean, come on. But yeah, no, this is kind of a cool new way, I think, for us to be able to do this. So just wanted to test it out, make sure audio sounds good. Hani, I'll give the floor to you for a little bit. Are you excited about your Raptors tonight?
I'm very excited. Game 7 is going to be a great one. I'm going to pander to Jacob and say OG's going to hit another game winner tonight.
Ooh.
But also, if this goes well enough, I think next week we're going to do a versus between me and Gary.
Yeah, nobody wants. Oh, I mean, everybody wants to see that, but I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want to participate in that. So yeah, this is kind of going to be, I think, the new norm for us, assuming this goes well. We want to kind of do our podcast this way, since Twitch and YouTube will basically record it for us, and this should, I believe, put it right up to YouTube, so I don't have to upload it, because that can be kind of a lengthy process sometimes. But yeah, I figured the OG comment would make Hani the cute one. But yeah, no. So I think we want to do this like as our post game pods, and we're actually looking at doing possibly doing this during games. Maybe not during the playoffs, because it's going to be very stress inducing. But I mean, maybe we could do that tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow could be a relatively low stress game, assuming Harden and the Rockets crumble, like I hope they do. But Dylan, you're the real MVP. You're better than Jacob. But yeah, no, this is I think this looks a lot better than before, and this could be fun, man.
He's going to force me to get a haircut. I don't think people need to see whatever the fuck is going on there. No, that was quick. First time I'm on Twitch.
Off to a great start. I mean, we're off to, I guess the usual Lakers start in every playoff series, right? Kind of stumble out of the gates, and then we'll reel off at least three straight. Adam, I'm just gonna go ahead and block you now. I got enough voices in the room that I don't need your feedback anymore. So it's all good. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want, I can also like replace. I don't think I can replace my screen. I mean, I'd have to really do some maneuvering, but I can also replace Hani's screen with some Alex Caruso highlights if you guys would like to see that too. I can just pull those.
I'd rather see Alex Caruso than myself.
But yeah, that's what I was doing earlier before you got on. I had Alex his highlights from last night's game pulled up on YouTube, and they were just playing in your little window. So yeah, that was fun. But no, I think this is good. So if you guys haven't, if you guys are on Twitch, make sure to follow us, twitch.tv/LakersOutsiders. And yeah, I mean, you'll be able to catch us live on Twitch or on YouTube. Hopefully Facebook in the future, but not a huge priority right now. So we'll get there. But no, this is fun. Hani, I mean, clock's ticking. I'm assuming you're very nervous at this point.
About the game?
Yeah.
Listen, I have complete faith. The Toronto Raptors have obviously never had disappointing losses in the playoffs. As we all know, they have a long history of success, even as a higher seed against a lower seed.
And if they get to the finals against LeBron, like obviously playing LeBron in the playoffs goes really well for them.
They've never had an issue with that. They've certainly never had their entire city named after the guy.
Oh, I forgot about LeBronto. Speaking of that, games. Oh, I see the Nuggets are just going away pretty quietly into the night. Kind of like how I expected them to do, but
They're taking the Daniel House method.
just just getting out about 24 hours early.
Yeah, what is the point of that? Just let him leave with the rest of his team tomorrow.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad if the Rockets somehow go back through one.
We'd have to go unprotected.
All of our tweets are now protected. Tweets not loading. Yeah, it would be bad. But I should also probably switch my camera over to this side since this is like my dashboard over here. But I mean, I could just actually, Hani, look you in the face when I'm talking to you. But
Beautiful.
who wants to do that, right?
Exactly. I'm looking at the Twitch so that I can see myself more.
Yeah, obviously we'll get used to this and we'll figure it out more as we use it more. And you want to see the AC highlights? All right.
Let's see it.
Hopefully the Lakers don't sue me because I have to pull up. Okay.
Dylan, if your pants come off, just don't tell us.
We don't need to hear it, see it. Yeah, no, I just don't need to hear it. All right. Let's see. Full screen over here. Wait, nope.
He said they already are.
This is where the NBA Finals will be held.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Bullet pass, cross court. Nice look. KCP knocks
That
it
pass,
down. Caldwell
though,
Pope
like-
on the dish.
Yeah,
My
I still
pants were
can't
coming
believe
off
it.
Rivers
on that
on
pass.
Double team
I
comes.
still can't believe it. That's
Westbrook,
Alex
nice
fucking
play,
Caruso throwing a
jumps
good
it.
cross-court
Turnover,
pass.
Lakers.
That was a LeBron-esque
Westbrook
pass.
on the
Yeah.
attack, and now Caruso intercepts it. Here come the Lakers in
He had
transition.
16 points.
16
For Danny
points.
Green. It's good.
And it's not going to be easy against these teams, but you got to be solid.
Oh, look at that
Nice
cut.
feed
Oh,
by
just-
LeBron James.
Also,
Caruso
can we talk
with
about
the
how
layup.
like
7-0.
clean
Laker
all
run.
the like
and
purple
LeBron
like
James
leggings,
dishing beautifully as
leg sleeve,
usual.
whatever they were all wearing.
Got to be
Well, not all
aware
of
of
them,
the
but, like,
lob,
look
just
at
throwing
80.
the ball over to
Like
Thompson.
it just looks so
And
good with the
Caruso
yellow
sneaks
jersey.
free.
We were
Gets by
talking about this.
Covington.
I don't know if I like it or not. It's
Stealthy
so
Alex
bright.
Caruso.
From
I think it
LeBron
looks so
James here
good.
on
The purple.
Baseline out of bounds. Covington gets low.
I think
Lakers
I
are
have to
plus
warm up to it
10
more.
points in the paint. They've
I think
dominated
over the course of the game, I
category
got
in
more
this
used to it,
series.
so I could buy it.
EJ and the gang standing by.
Buckets.
Caruso buries a three for the Lakers.
And then with two guys on him in the
Yeah,
post,
hopefully I don't get
out to
we
a
don't get
wide
sued for
open
copyright infringement
Caruso.
by doing this, but
Not the
Yeah,
first
I think
time we've
there's
come
sometimes,
close.
you know, where your best
Usually
player
it's like
is
6 months
adamant
after
and
when they
wants
pull
you
a
to
tweet.
challenge.
Yeah, right.
As we get another great
for using a song
Shot
that
clock down
like
to
everybody
4.
uses.
James pounded
Yep.
it, gives it up. Caruso for three.
Clutch.
Oh,
Touch my hands.
Caruso with a big hit.
Nobody's
Great
ever put
here,
that to
and
the
as he
basketball.
comes in on the mismatch, Harden just starts to fake at him. LeBron James finds Caruso and he knocks down the three.
Tyson Chandler's reaction to that is
Gotta
just
get
so
one up quick. Gordon, shot fake, puts it on the deck, and it's knocked away.
I love
by
how
Caruso.
in like a game that's still
Up
somewhat in
ahead,
doubt, Rondo
all
still
the
throws
way,
it off the glass.
LeBron James.
An awful pass, by the way.
LeBron just has to go all the way up for it. But yeah,
Good stuff.
Dylan's pants were already offside. I was gonna ask Dylan, are the pants off? But I mean, there's no way they were going on after that. So, but yeah, we're obviously messing around a little bit here. But I think this is what we're gonna shoot for tomorrow after the game. If the Lakers somehow don't close it out, we can yell about a Rockets role player scoring potentially 16 points, and yeah.
If like Ben McLemore goes off, I'm totally starting a conspiracy theory that James Harden actually sent a girl to Daniel House's room so that he wouldn't be able to play, so that McLemore could play more, and then that's what led to the win.
Yeah, that's how it works. I mean,
Exactly.
so yeah, no, I think this looks pretty good, and I'm excited for this, man. This would be a good way to kind of get our chat going, and the boys are back in town. All it took was us figuring out technology, or the Lakers winning their 7th playoff game. Either way.
Look, we just decided at some point we're doing a disservice to our fans by not showing our faces. And we had to adapt and adjust like Frank Vogel, and really give the people what they want.
That's true. Yeah. So, I mean, we could like preview the next game, but I feel like we kind of did that last night on the pod. I mean, we talked about like which the pod is up on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, all that stuff. But looks like the Clippers will close out the series tonight. Yeah, I kind of expected that. I saw that line was like -8. I actually really liked the Clippers to cover that. And my betting is terrible, so I was like, hey, maybe the Nuggets have a chance because I feel like the Clippers are going to win easily. But the Nuggets just don't have the firepower to match up. I mean, they got like, I don't know, they could have won 2 games. I was surprised they got the one, and honestly, it took like a ridiculous shooting half. That first half was just insane how hot they were, and then they just kind of had to fend them off and hold on for dear life. But so we're getting Clips versus Lakers. It's definitely looking that way. I mean, it's not surprising in the least, with how it's looked all year. Those are clearly like the 2 best teams. I thought people thought there's like an outside chance that the Rockets could make it because they're just a funky matchup and they were causing the Lakers some issues, which, I don't know. It's the writing's been on the wall. I kind of thought this would be the year that Milwaukee would finally break through because I thought their team was just more talented this year. But they still run into kind of the same issues that they've run into in the past, and I don't know.
I was thinking about this all day today. Is there any sport more than basketball where there's such a huge difference between like regular season and playoff performance? I feel like in other sports you don't really get guys that like seem like they're top 5 in the league in the regular season, and playoffs come around and they get schemed out so easily.
I think you see it some in the NFL, but also the NFL. It's kind of a crapshoot because it's a single elimination thing where it's a series. I mean, I'm not like a big hockey fan. I don't really follow it, so I don't know. I don't know like what the difference is, I guess, in that sport, but I think a Western Conference Finals in Staples Center between the Lakers and Clippers would have been a ton of fun. I also think the Lakers would have had possibly 7 home games essentially, but no, I mean I guess the aspect of like no travel is kind of the same where like neither team, they don't get to go home after the games. They go back to like a hotel, but yeah, I mean I don't know. And people thought the Rockets would cause the Lakers problems. I went back and forth with the Rockets. Like, I don't know. I kind of thought that one meeting that we saw in the regular season right after the Rockets traded Capella and went super small. I was like, man, they shot the lights out, and like the Lakers had a chance to win that game still. And so I was like, I was a little hesitant, but then the Rockets started to, I don't know, they started to look pretty good, I thought. And I was like, okay, they might cause some problems just because they're a really funky matchup and they're kind of a tough puzzle to figure out. But then, I don't know, watching that OKC series, like I was saying last night, gave me so much more confidence going up against them. And I don't know, I wasn't overly worried. I'm not shocked we lost game 1 just because it seems like the thing that we do. Plus, a couple players said it was like a feel-out game for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you prep for like a certain style, if it's really kind of funky, sometimes you actually have to like fully experience it, and that's what they did. And now it seems like they've got it pretty well figured out.
Yeah, my only like main surprise with the Rockets was just that I don't think they ever really forced the Lakers to adjust to them. Maybe after game 1, but that was, like you said, a feel-out game. So it wasn't like they made any changes to do anything. It was just like they just kept playing the same way over and over again, and the Lakers figured it out in one game.
It's almost like that's why Mike D'Antoni probably has not won NBA championship.
Yeah.
Seems to be a common thing, which is crazy because like his like offensive concepts and stuff like that, as like an offensive coordinator type, like he's so good. Like his teams are always very efficient offensively, and he really gets the most out of a lot of like role players and stuff like that. But man, I don't know, man. It's something, that's for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, hopefully the boys can close it out tomorrow, and we can move on to the hallway series in the Western Conference Finals, which I also think is the real NBA Finals. But I guess we'll see. I mean, you never know. I guess if the Clippers get there, Paul George could shrink in the finals, and the Raptors or the Heat. I will not say that other team possibly. That would make me sick, by the way, if that is the NBA Finals. I'm not even going to like speak it into existence, but you know what combination of an NBA Finals matchup I'm talking about. That would make me just, incredibly sick.
If the Lakers don't make the finals, though, I think the greatest thing that could happen would be the Raptors making it and then beating the Clippers. That would be great.
The Raptors beating Kawhi in the finals.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It wouldn't be as great as the Lakers win, but it would at least, just warm up my cold, dead heart a little bit.
It'd be great for NBA Twitter. Like, the takes would be something.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the Raptors just get a win tonight, man.
That's what I'm praying for it.
Get those green bastards out of here, and then I mean at that point, like I really won't even care who wins. I mean I know you'll still be rooting for the Raptors, but like I find this Heat team like super likable though.
Same. I do really enjoy this Heat team. They play so hard.
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, obviously they have Jimmy Butler. They got a lot of good players, but it's such a like by committee approach. It seems like they can just they can hit you with 5 different guys. I don't think they have enough to beat the Lakers or the Clippers in a series, but they're super fun to watch. I mean, besides the fact that Jimmy Butler shoots a ton of free throws, like that part can be kind of tough to watch sometimes. But just the way they play, I mean, their execution on both ends of the floor is really fun. But I think the Lakers ultimately match up fairly well with them, and we've talked about LeBron against Toronto in the playoffs already, so it's probably a sore subject for you, but
look, am I reveling in LeBron killing the Raptors for years? No, but he's a Laker, so I'll take it. It'll do. Kyle Lowry's got a ring already. It's fine.
He's set. Plus he probably eats plenty of Popeye's chicken sandwiches. So
it all goes straight to the bottom.
All that protein. See, we still found a way to get the old Popeye's chicken sandwich in there. So
now that we're doing these live shows, I'm going hard at trying to get Hollisey on a podcast, man. Like this has to happen.
I told you it's got to be the 2-for-1. We've got to get.
Just put the Titan Stadium over me? What the hell?
Is that what showed up?
It showed up for a second, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Is that your wallpaper?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little more important at the time. I'm just gearing up for Monday. Oh, yeah, it did show up. I don't know why. Anyways. Yeah, no. So I think, because, like, the YouTube comments, like maybe I can maybe I can edit this.
Are those showing up? Is that where people are? So
for me it like shows up on like the main so like you can see like Clippers the
on the screen.
Only last legit obstacle we have left. We beat them, we can beat. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like I said, I think the Western Conference Finals is the real NBA Finals. If it's assuming it's the LA teams. If it's Lakers Nuggets somehow, then I don't think it's the real NBA Finals, but I don't think we need to put that woman on blast.
Man, this is gonna get wild.
But yeah, I can just pull up the YouTube chat as well and just kind of go based on that. So, because the comments, the YouTube stream comments pop up and then they disappear for some reason and don't stay in my like stream chat, but the Twitch ones stay there. So, yeah. especially with the Bucks flaming out. Yeah, I was kind of surprised they did it again, but hey, now it's like until you prove it, almost kind of have to expect it.
At least all the guys are going to be fresh for the preseason.
Do what now?
I said at least all the Bucks players are going to be fresh for the preseason.
Yeah, I mean they had some load management in the series that they lost in, so it's pretty good. So just catching up on kind of the YouTube stream or YouTube stream chat. Thank you, Michael, for the welcome back. This should be fun. I'm excited to kind of roll this out, and hopefully, I mean, we'll be doing this after games, so hopefully we do this after a lot of wins. I may be really drunk if the Lakers win the championship, and I have to do one of these, so that'll be entertaining for everybody. But yeah, so thanks everybody for kind of chiming in. I really like when we get the chat really going, and it's cool, man. It's cool. I love the interaction. It makes things a lot more fun for us. I think me and you, especially me, could talk all day about anything, but the Lakers in particular. But how are Anthony and Harrison doing? They're doing good. I mean, Harrison just got married. Anthony just became a homeowner. Yeah.
Harrison still has an abnormally large neck.
Somehow Mia puts up with him. So, you guys are awesome, by the way, Matt Probst. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's so sweet.
Well, I guess we can answer like some questions here for a few minutes before we kind of log off, and I go eat another Popeye's chicken sandwich with maybe some mac and cheese. Who has the coaching advantage, Frank or Doc? Probably a dumb question. No, I think that's a pretty good question. I think each of them kind of has good and bad things about them. I would probably go towards Frank. Every time, like the handful of Clipper fans I think that I follow constantly complain about Doc and his rotations and not playing Zubats enough. And Zubats, obviously, we know is a pretty damn good young player, and I think he's just gotten better and better. And for some reason, Doc doesn't like him all that much. I think he's played him a little more in this Nuggets series to put him on Jokic. And I think he has to play a lot if they play the Lakers in the next round, because I think the Lakers will go back to being bigger in the next series, and I think you'll see Dwight and probably JaVale play a little bit more. But who knows? I mean, Markieff Morris has been really good, so he's also earned some more minutes as well.
Yeah, Doc's a good coach, but he's also very stubborn and like set in his ways. He doesn't really change what he does, which is like why people are upset about the Zoo stuff. Is that I think Zoo's been better than Montrezl Harrell this entire year, really, and certainly like the back half of the year, and he always gets benched and Trez plays a ton of minutes, and like he's not like Harrell's not a great defender. He's probably a better scorer than Zubats just because he can like jump over everybody. But I don't know. Like I'm looking forward to Doc staying kind of stubborn and playing Lou and Trez together for a bunch of minutes and letting us go at them.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that series, though, because it's going to be very stress-inducing, unless we just get surprised and the Lakers just win in like 4 or 5, maybe 6. I mean, that series feels like a 7-game series. And I was like thinking about this. I was like, I bet there's like one game for each team, one win for each team in that series if we get to it, that is a blowout for each team. Like, 7-game series, I mean, they're usually like dog fights, but usually there's one game. Like even Lakers Celtics 2010, like the Lakers just absolutely demolished them in Game 6. Dominated Game 1 for the most part too, and then like Game 4 and 5 they really struggled with the Celtics, and so they're not even like every series that goes 7 games isn't just 7 battles. I mean even like the Raptors Celtics, like there's been I thought what was it, Game 4, the Raptors were in control most of that game. There's been a couple games that the Celtics were in control the whole game. But, man, that Game 6 was so much fun to watch.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll shut up and get back to some of these questions. 2-year window to win 2 rings, then reset the team for new challenges after 2021. That's kind of – I mean, I would say yes and no with that, right? Like, obviously, the priority this offseason, whenever it starts, I guess, is getting Anthony Davis re-signed to a new max contract, which I would anticipate happens because he's got a legit shot to play for a championship, and he's playing in the LA market. All the stuff that comes with that. It's a perfect situation, really, for any superstar. Plus, he's playing next to LeBron James, who they're obviously very close friends, and their relationship has grown over the season. And the Lakers have all these contracts that come off the books in 2021, so they re-sign AD. Then, you know, they could possibly go out and try and find another star to pair with LeBron and AD, assuming LeBron wants to stay, which I would imagine he would. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up retiring a Cavalier, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he retires a Laker either. So, because I think him and AD are both very comfortable in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, once LeBron is gone, and who knows how long that's going to be, maybe it's in 2 years, but obviously it completely changes how the team has to build. But, you know, if you got AD, I think they won't really have a problem pairing him with somebody else and still being probably a title contender.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, AD is the top priority because that's the Lakers' future. It's at least half of the Lakers' future. If they can get another superstar with him, then that's perfect. Yeah, but AD's the top priority. So I remember the days when Hani used to complain about college in his Cal Poly Pomona days.
I never went to Cal Poly. I have complained about my college days at UNR, Nevada Reno, and I have complained about my college days at UCLA. Actually, funny story though. Before I went to UNR, I was going to apply to Cal Poly, though I think the SLO campus. And even though I probably was never actually going to go there for money reasons, I just completely missed the deadline, so I never sent in my application.
Of course. Of course.
And then never applied for it for grad school either.
There you go. Do you trust Dwight Howard / JaVale McGee versus Zubats, and to at least break even on that matchup?
I don't think the Zubats part of it is necessarily the issue, but I have a hard time seeing Dwight especially play a lot. I think the Clippers really went at him the few times that they played, because Dwight, as great as he's been, he's so much slower than he used to be, and he doesn't really get out on guys. And if it's like Kawhi and Lou Williams running those pick and rolls, they're gonna have that mid-range game like on lock if Dwight's not stepping out on those. I think JaVale can do a little bit of a better job like contesting those. I don't know how much he's gonna play, but I think I imagine that it'll be kind of like like game 2 and game 3 where JaVale plays a little bit and Dwight doesn't play, but mostly it's AD at the 5, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that in that Lakers Clippers matchup is they're just at their best when AD goes to the 5. We saw it in that first bubble game too when AD moved to the 5. The Lakers went a little bit smaller. They started to really get their groove back because they hit a pretty hard wall there. I think it was in the third quarter in that first bubble game, and offense really struggled. Like, they just could not get anything going, and then they moved AD to the 5, and then all of a sudden there was a lot of space to operate, and the Clippers had to guard more space and cover more ground, and AD hit a couple threes, and everything started to fall into place. So, yeah, I think AD goes to the 5. I think Dwight is going to get an opportunity against the Clippers, and I think he can be okay. Like, I have faith in Dwight to be okay in that series. But ultimately, yeah, they're going to be at their best with AD at the 5, especially just in that series because, you know, I think Zubats is a good young player. I just don't anticipate he can cover Anthony Davis over the course of an entire series. We've seen, I mean, he's done a good job at times on Jokic, but at the same time, he struggles with Jokic being able to step out to the three-point line and basically pull him away from the basket. And AD can obviously do the same thing. Yeah,
and Jokic has drawn a crap load of fouls on him, and AD's maybe the best big guy at drawing fouls in general in the league. So, yeah, I could see that going pretty well for the Lakers.
Yeah. Should Lakers recruit Giannis? Yes, and I think they are through his brother, who's on the roster already. So, they're definitely going to. I mean, their contracts line up for Giannis's free agency, and they're certainly going to try and get in the room with him and try and recruit him. So 100% yes. Can we go small against the Clips? We just kind of talked about that. I brought this up in a group chat last night. I don't even think that the Lakers go small necessarily. Because, that's the thing was, Rockets Twitter being like, oh, you're beating us by going small or whatever. But it's like, we're really not. Like, AD at the 5 is not necessarily a small lineup. And when you throw out Markieff Morris at the 4, LeBron essentially as your 3, Danny Green as your 2, and KCP as your 1, or Caruso, or whoever. Sometimes it's like Kuzma out there, too. The Lakers, so my thing is, they don't go small, they go versatile.
Yeah.
Because all those guys are 6'6" and taller, whereas the Rockets are 6'6" and smaller, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Covington's a little taller, but
it's they're not playing small. They're playing like a regular 2020 NBA team. The way they usually play is the abnormal thing that they do.
They just instead of going small, they just go more mobile. More versatile, more switchable, all that stuff. So, I don't even think the Lakers. This is small ball. This Lakers team is just big. I think the only guy that's really small on the team is Rondo, and
or KCP.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard for the Lakers to really go small unless they have Rondo, KCP, and Caruso all out there together. Then I think it's a small lineup, but I don't know if they've ever had all 3 of those guys out there together, unless it was garbage time or something. But so Lakers go more mobile, they go versatile instead of really just going small. But they can go small per se against the Clippers. I think that's probably honestly going to be their best bet, and I think their best bet to attack Harrell by pulling him away from the basket and attacking Lou Williams defensively as well. Having more guys you can really go at him, and especially if they get him switched on to LeBron and pick and rolls. Oh, that was beautiful to watch. That third matchup. Let's see. Would you want LAL to continue a small ball lineup going versus the Clips, or go big when Zubats, Morris are in? I guess we've kind of answered that. I think just AD at the 5, Morris at the 4, I think is probably the most ideal, or even LeBron at the 4, or Kuzma at the 4. Just put AD at the 5, space the floor, and I think you'll be. Overall, I think they'll be fine against the Clippers.
Yeah.
Will Donovan ever live his dream of having Giannis in a Laker uniform? I'm pretty sure his dream is having Giannis in a Celtics uniform. I'm putting him on blast. I know he's getting it's you against him tonight. He's rooting for his Celtics since his Bucks are out. We kicked him off the Lakers bandwagon. He left the Lakers bandwagon, and he's trying to get back on, but every time he climbs up, we just kick him off. Yeah. So
can't believe I have to fight against my own father tonight. It's an absolute shame.
Oh yeah. Lakers Celtics would be a dream come true. It would be fun. I will say it would kind of. The only thing that would bum me out about that is no crowd. The Lakers winning a finals game in the Garden is one of my favorite things. That Game 3 of 2010, man, that's one of my favorite Laker memories.
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird that those are the ones this entire playoffs that I'm oh man, if this game would have been on the road, the OG shot. That would have been a Boston home game, and I was man, how amazing would it have been to hear TD Garden just go absolutely dead silent at that crazy shot.
If you listened very closely, you could hear Boston just really deflate. Oh, is that too soon for the Patriots? Oh. Yeah, hopefully no Patriots fans watch this, because then they saw my Titans background. Dynasty Killers, this is just not the podcast for you, the stream for you, if you are a Boston sports fan, apparently, which is, hey, that's fine by me. So, all right, I think that's it for questions, unless anybody else wants to squeeze any in. This went longer than I thought. It went a lot better than I thought, actually. We just wanted to do a little test run, but I love seeing everybody kind of involved, and yeah, this is going to be kind of the thing that we do now. I think after games, and we might, like I said, we talked about. I want to do this during games as well. I just don't know if I want to do this during very high stress level inducing games. Plus, I usually watch these games, these playoff games, with my dad because that's how I grew up, and it's like one of my favorite traditions. But maybe starting next regular season. Or we can do like a live, like when free agency starts at midnight, like we can start that, which
that would be really fun.
Would be really fun with Twitter going off and just getting all these notifications. Although the Lakers aren't going to be major players in free agency this year because they'll roll back with almost the same team next year, but they will have, I think, the full mid-level exception to use, which should get them a nice player to add to this team, which should be fun. So, halftime, post game. Oh yeah, I mean we could potentially do that. Like I said, definitely for like regular season games next year. I want to do it for some of those, which would be really fun to kind of get everybody together, kind of watch the game and chat as the game's going on, which, I mean, we have Twitter for, but it'd be kind of cool to do like a real-time chat in here as well. And you could see me make a fool out of myself, or maybe Hani too. I don't know how Hani reacts to some of these, especially the playoff games. Like, I'm just a mess. Like, I'll be pacing around the room if the Lakers are struggling, and it's not a great scene.
We should just do Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy impersonations for an entire game.
I mean, we've got a podcast already. Like, they just try and have a podcast during the game. So,
to me, that's preposterous. With all due respect.
With all due respect. Yeah. So, yeah. No, this has been fun. This was a lot better than I anticipated, and I hope the audio and everything sounds clean and good. I think I got it all set up the right way. But if not, we will definitely tweak it. And I think video looks good on my end, so hopefully it looks good for all of you guys. And audio sounds good and everything. And we'll continue to improve it. The overlays, not a lot of purple and gold options, but no, I think this definitely, the setup looks a lot better than what we've done in the past, and I'm excited for it. So if you're still listening to this and you're still jumping in the chat, if you are on Twitch, you can subscribe to us, or follow and subscribe to us on Twitch if you would like, at twitch.tv/LakersOutsiders. And of course, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers. So would really appreciate if you subscribe to Lakers Outsiders on YouTube as well. And of course, when we do these, when we do like our official podcasts, they'll be up on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically wherever you could find them. So, yeah, like I said, this has been fun. I think we're going to sign off. Thanks, guys, for tuning in for this little test run and giving us questions. Always love that, so keep them coming. And, hey, don't be afraid to send us, like, non-Lakers related questions. Could be basketball, other sports. Hani's big soccer fan. I know a lot of you guys are probably into that.
I got Messi all behind me.
I mean, I've got the Laker flag. I'm just saying I'm maybe more of a real fan. But plus, I mean, I guess we are both rooting for the Raptors tonight, so I can't even use that against you. But also follow Hani on Twitter at Raptors Outsiders. So yeah,
shout out to these people that have waited in here for us doing a dumb test run and keep talking to us. You guys are great. You guys are
the goats, the real MVP, whatever you want to call it. So
even that one person that thought I went to Cal Poly from home, you're great too.
Hey, I wish you would have gone there instead of UNR. So I mean, I'm with it, but. All right, good night, everybody. We'll be back on again tomorrow after the game, probably same place on Twitch and on YouTube, live after the game. So stay tuned for that. And my days are all turned around. Tomorrow's what? Saturday. Game is at 5 o'clock Pacific time?
Yes, sir.
All right, so yeah, after the game tomorrow, you can find us right here, and we'll be here. Send us questions, and yeah, it'll be fun. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. But yeah, until next time, this is Gary Kester with Hani Amadian and the Lakers Outsiders signing off.
Shout out Halsey.